Okay, so Sainath sir had asked me to do a video on the upcoming trends in the IT industry. So I chose two topics. These topics I have not chosen at random. I have some idea of these two topics, but I think they are pretty relevant and they are picking up traction in the market. So you guys should at least have some idea about these topics. And this is just an introductory video, so don't expect too much of details. But once we go through this introductory video, you should go out and on the internet and you should search these topics. So let's get started with algorithmic trading. So why do we need algorithmic trading? Um, first, the first requirement is to enforce rules with perfect discipline. Suppose if you are a trader and I ask you to buy stocks for me and at a particular price, but you don't do that. You basically, while executing a particular trade, you uh, buy stocks at a price that is favorable to you and not me. So you are causing a loss to me. So algorithms are not humans, so uh, they have their own. They follow rules pretty strictly, so you won't have any issues with computers and algorithms. You tell them to buy a stock at that price, and if that price is hit, then the algorithms will do what is required. Secondly, you can work from home, as we all know, and there is no location dependence, and there are multiple venues from where you can trade and you can write algorithms sitting anywhere in the world, and you can deploy your code and get started with it. As I mentioned that there's a 24-hour execution, and because of cheap computing power, fast computation, you can write complex algorithms and they will run pretty fast. And yeah, the fourth point, fast execution without emotion. So there is no human emotion in this. So the chances of being corrupt, chances of uh, uh, the broker being unfair towards you becomes very very less. For those of you who don't know who a broker is basically a middleman between the customer and the stock market. So that's a broker. Okay, so this is all theory. Let's discuss some practical examples so you get a good idea. Uh, there are various patterns in stock markets. One pattern is sawtooth pattern. So you basically buy when the stock is selling low and you sell when the stock is selling high, and you keep doing it and keep making money. So as a programmer, you will write an algorithm that detects such pattern in stocks, and once that pattern is detected, you will give instructions to buy and sell, and keep making profits consistently throughout. But the thing is that there are thousands of different patterns in stock market. There is not one such single pattern. So before writing an algorithm, you need to strategize and you need to talk with a number of stakeholders and then come up with patterns. You need to backtest them. Backtesting, as in, once you suppose you've detected a sawtooth pattern, then you have to take historical data from the stock market. Suppose you are analyzing a stock and you take the historical data and detect such patterns uh, on a particular stock, and see if this buy and sell strategy is working in the has worked in the past or not. And if you get 80 to 95% accuracy, then go ahead with such an algorithm. Again, this is not as simple as it sounds. There is a lot of data that goes in, a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of strategy building, a lot of number crunching, a lot of data. So it's really good work if you are interested in it. Second such example is electronic news trading. Basically, in electronic news trading, you use AI and machine learning to recognize good or bad news. Let me give you an example. Everybody knows ITC, Indian Tobacco Company. It manufactures cigarettes, notebooks, and other products. So, uh, generally, I mean, I'm I mean, I've written this talk based on my personal experience. Generally, when BJP comes to power, the share price of ITC falls because BJP is seen as a pro-Hindu party and it imposes Hindu values on people. Then companies which tend to have different values than the BJP, that their price goes down temporarily. So it's a good time to sell that particular stock. But how do you come to know that BJP is going to come into power? You basically use AI, machine learning, and extract data from various social media platforms, and uh, then you basically extract patterns, and you know you determine whether the word of mouth is positive or negative for the BJP, and then you make your best guess. Okay, BJP is coming into power, and let's sell ITC stock because I'm going to be affected negatively in this. So I hope you got a little bit idea in this. Third example is electronic arbitrage. Suppose if stock A is selling at rupees 100 in the NSE and same stock is selling at 101 at the BSC. So what will you do? You'll buy the stock at 100 in the NSE and then and sell it at 101 rupees at the BSC. So the profit you made is rupees 1. Uh, so this is what you call an arbitrage opportunity. Again, in the real world, it is not as simple. There are thousands of stocks, and the arbitrage opportunity is not as huge as rupees 1. It is sometimes 0.01 paisa or something very low. So to identify such arbitrage opportunities out of plethora of say 1,000 different stocks, you need to have algorithms, you need to have computing power. You cannot eyeball that saying okay, there is an arbitrage opportunity. You need very fast computing power. Secondly, it is not just NSE and BSC, sometimes it is international markets as well. So you need computers to do that. You need computer to find arbitrage opportunity even when you're sleeping, because certain markets are open um, when you are asleep. For example, NYSE or Dow Jones or something. So obviously then you'll need computers to run algorithms on your behalf. So these were very broad, very simplified examples. Let me scan the whole page for you. So if you for your just for your reference. Mm. So these are very broad examples that I have given to you. What I want you to do is just search algorithmic trading on Google. There are various courses available, various articles you can read, and if you're interested, you can do a course on it. And there are lots of good jobs available as well as trader. I mean, and as trader, you'll not be buying and selling stocks, but you'll be formulating strategies and writing algorithms, which is much better than doing some maintenance work or at a big company. Uh, Writing strategies or basically making money. And again, this does when you do algorithmic trading, it does not like happen in hours. Things get completed in milliseconds, so you have to write such an efficient code that executes a trade in milliseconds. This buy and sell opportunity I mentioned is, it gets depleted in a matter of few milliseconds. So it's not going to be like this opportunity will remain open for 1 hour or 2 hour. No, it remains open for say 10-20 milliseconds. So you need to have fast uh, you need to have a fast what do you call running code, or a very high computing power to basically make some money out of it. So here is where you can contribute. So next good opportunity uh, where I personally think might help you guys is simulation and modeling. These days it has become very important to create computer models and run simulations so that you get a fair idea of what's going on. So why do we need simulation and modeling? Find the value of asset class, stock or portfolio. When I mean asset class, it's not just stocks, it's gold, it is bonds, it is basically crude oil, everything comes under asset class. Again, you need to do a lot of heavy computations and it cannot be done by hand. Why do you do simulation modeling? It gives you basically an assessment of the value of your portfolio, the value of your net worth, or whatever, because see that I mean retail traders like us, we don't have like 50 60 lakhs. It's not a lot of money, but banks and big institutions, they own assets in billions of dollars. So even a slight up and down movement of interest rates or any factors that affects the value of the portfolio, they will get a huge hit. So it's very important to do simulation and modeling. So let's talk about the first application. First application is portfolio management. Say if an investor has a portfolio of stocks plus bonds, and this is the distribution of the returns. It's actually a normal distribution. Again, I don't want to get very technical, but I need to find if a left tail 5% left tail event occurs. 5% left tail event, as in some extreme event, for example a war or some major catastrophe occurs. What would be the loss that I have to take? So to find this 5% left tail event, I have to take a ton of data, and say if I have 100 different stocks, I have to take like past 20 30 years of data for like hundreds of stocks, and then plot them and find their normal distribution, and then find the 5% probability of loss and all that. So lots of heavy computation involved in this, and then come up with the amount of loss that I can suffer. So not to get too confused with it, it is just the probability of a severe loss. What is the probability of severe loss, and what would be the impact on my portfolio? What will be the loss that I might suffer? Second application is historical simulation, as in the 2008 market crash or the current US and Iran conflict that is going on, because of which crude oil prices had significantly increased for some time. So, what happens is, as an investor, I need to know, or as an institution with, suppose if I have a huge investment in crude oil, I have crude oil futures. So I need to know, like, if a Iran or US conflict happens again, what will be the value of my portfolio? What will be the expected loss? Again, there will be a lot of parameters that will go in, the stock price, the crude oil prices for last 30 years, then the economy, data from the economists, and then data from newspaper sentiment analysis. A lot of things will go into this, and then you will come up with some kind of an expected loss. Again, the goal is not to eliminate my loss, the goal is just to know how much loss will I suffer in case of such an event, and if such an event occurs, I will be ready. Okay, this is the amount that I'm going to lose, and I know I have to be ready with other things to cover up my loss. Third such application is stress test or scenario analysis. Again, you will come up with a fake scenario. Historical simulation, it was real scenarios that gave you the expected loss. Now this will be a hypothetical or a fake scenario, and you will basically, suppose if we enter into a war with Pakistan and China simultaneously, what will be the impact of what will be the impact on Indian financial markets uh, of such a war, in the event of such a war. So you'll have to like go through social media, then go through you'll have to take data from, past 50 years data, war data, and you'll have to do so much of research, and for that you will need computing power. You will need to I mean you will need to know various algorithms, you will need to know regression, you will need to know a lot of things. But again, this is a very interesting area, this is a very dynamic area, and uh, it is much more interesting than the maintenance work or whatever testing or coding work that you are doing. So uh, I personally like these areas, and I don't code, but I assist in doing research, as in um, is there a probability of a war or not, or I do that kind of work. So let me scan this page for you. So again, let me repeat that these are very simplified examples that I gave you. Uh, the actual real world examples or real world simulation modeling or algorithms that you are going to write are going to be extremely complex, and things happen in split second. So your code has to be very excellent, and your algorithm has to be very efficient and very good. So I hope I have given you some idea. If you are interested in these areas, do search this on the internet, and yeah, these are very relevant areas. So thank you.